Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Hayden B Grilling. Now tonight we're gonna make some smothered hamburger steak. I'm really excited about this, so let's get started. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add 1 pound of ground beef into a bowl. Next, we're gonna sprinkle in some garlic powder. Now, no measurement on that. That's just a taste to your preference. Followed by some onion powder, again, to preference. Next, we're gonna pour in a little bit of Dale's. Now, this is to your liking. This is no measurement, but I would advise be careful with Dale's because it is naturally already salty. After the Dale's, we're gonna sprinkle in some Worcestershire sauce, again, to preference. Now that we've got these ingredients in the bowl, we're just gonna take our hands, we're just gonna work this all in together. So that way the ground beef is getting good and mixed in with the seasonings we put in and the sauces. All right, now that we got all that combined, now we're gonna go ahead and form our patties. And the thickness of the patty, that's, again, 100% up to you. All right, now that we've got our patties formed, we've got 4 potatoes here. We're gonna peel these real quick. So now we've got our potatoes peeled. Now we're just gonna cut these into cubes, little small cubes, so that way they'll cook down faster. So we're gonna come about like that, a little small piece, and we're gonna put them in a pot of water. All right, so we got our potatoes in a pot. We're gonna turn our heat on to a high and bring it to a boil. Now that we've got our potatoes started, now I'm gonna turn my heat to a medium on the skillet here. All right, while we're waiting on our heat to build, we're gonna take 1 onion. I'm just gonna cut it into little thin rings. After I got my rings cut, I'm gonna come back and just slice them in the middle, so that way we got these little half rings. So here's where we're gonna cheat just a little bit tonight. We're not doing a homemade gravy from scratch. We're gonna do some good old brown gravy. All right, folks, so our hamburger steaks are done. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling them out of the skillet and I'm putting them onto a plate that has a paper towel lined on it. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of butter into my skillet. I'm gonna let that start to melt down. Right, now that we got our butter melted, we're gonna start adding the onion rings into the skillet so we can saute our onion. So now we've got our onions added into the skillet, and we're just gonna keep working these around and sauteing them until they get nice and soft. So now that our onions are almost sauteed all the way, we're gonna add some mushrooms. We're just gonna continue to work them around in this skillet and saute them just as we've done our onion. So our onion and our mushroom is nice and sauteed now. So we're gonna add these. I'm gonna reduce my heat down to a low, to a simmer. I'm gonna add these patties back into the skillet. Now I'm gonna take about and pour, not all, but about half of my gravy into the skillet. Now, like I said, I reduced my heat to a simmer, but we're just gonna kind of mix this in together, slide these all around. We're gonna let these cook just like this, just for a few minutes. So now that these have been reduced down to a simmer, we're gonna put our lid on it and let them cook just long enough for the patties to heat back through. So we've got our potatoes here. Honestly, I really thought 4 potatoes would yield more than this. We're gonna drop 1 tablespoon of butter into the pot, and I'm gonna pour just a splash of milk. Now, depending on what consistency we want, if we want more of a creamier potato, we'll come back and add more milk. But we're just gonna mix this in together, because I'm not going for a cream potato, I'm going for a mashed potato, and I don't have a potato masher, so we're gonna use this. But we're just gonna work these around until they mash up. We're gonna sprinkle this in a little bit of pepper, followed by, and you guessed it, a little bit of salt, no measurement. We're just gonna keep working these in together. All right, folks, so here is the final product. We got our hamburger steak, mashed potatoes, got our sauteed gravy, and sauteed gravy. We got our mushroom and onions in there. Now time for that all important taste test. All right, here we go with that taste test. Now, folks, that's really good with the gravy on it, the onions, the mushrooms. I didn't have the mushrooms. I'm assuming it's good with the mushrooms, but the ground beef turned out great with the Dale's and the Worcestershire sauce. Folks, this is a very good meal, very easy. It took 45 minutes to an hour from start to completion. So it's not a super quick meal, but it's a very good meal. So y'all please let me know what you think of the video. Y'all please like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all later.